Hi everyone, this is Mary, you're in Mary Reads. Welcome back to my channel. And as you probably understood from the name of this video, I'm gonna show you the new books that I got, and I will also tell you a little bit about the job I've just started at a library. First of all, a week ago, I started working for one of the libraries in New York City, and I am super excited about this job. I'm working in a volunteer department, but I had a slightly different job than what I will usually do during my first week. Because the summer started, the summer reading event kicks off in a lot of different libraries in New York City. And my library was organizing this event as well. So 3 different branches of it held events for kids, and they were giving books away for free, new books, not the library books, it was books for all the different ages, starting from 0 to like 16. And there were a lot of different arts and crafts events, so I was helping organize that. In my usual job, I will be responsible for one of the projects. I will be helping with hiring and training volunteers. But my first week, I spent organizing the event. So I was able to get some of the books on the giveaway, and I will start with them. I have 2 books that I got for the giveaway. And when I was visiting all these different branches, I obviously looked at books they had, and I took 6 books from different branches of the library, and these books I am so happy about. I have never seen so many good books, and I'm so happy that I discovered so many new branches. So I think this is my best book haul so far. Stay with me to see all the books I've got. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot for me, and I'm so happy to see new people. And the first book that I got on a giveaway is called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I've heard about this book so much, but I didn't know if I should read it. And then I saw it on the giveaway, and I knew that some people say that it's very good, so I thought, why not? If I can get this book for free, and if so many people had good comments about it, why not try reading it? This is a series. I don't know if the first book wraps the case up and the second and the third books are separate, or I have to read all 3 to figure out what happened in the story. We'll see. I'm really hoping that one book explains the whole case, and then in the next book we move to a completely different story. So this book is about a senior in high school who decides to investigate the story of 5 years ago when a boyfriend killed his girlfriend and then he killed himself. Everybody blamed the boyfriend, but the girl 5 years later thinks that he might be innocent, and she starts her own investigation. But somebody really doesn't want her to dig any deeper, and her life becomes in danger. And the second book, it's very interesting. I actually didn't notice that in the beginning. I've only noticed it later when I was getting ready for this video. It says, perfect for fans of Holly Jackson, the author of this book. Karen McManus and Kara Thomas. I don't know who the second and the third ones are, but Holly Jackson is the one who wrote this one. So I think that if I like the first one, I will really like the second one. But what compelled me in this story is that it's called The Agathas, and it tells a story also. It's a murder mystery. It tells a story of this girl who breaks up with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend starts dating this other girl. But this other girl dies, and everybody's blaming the boyfriend, but our main character thinks it wasn't him. And then she also has a tutor who is great at investigating, and together they're gonna try to figure out what actually happened. And Agatha Christie's novels are gonna help her with that. Now that I'm thinking about it, it really repeats this book very much. I don't know if one was inspired by the other or it's just a coincidence, but what interested me here is that it's going to be somehow connected to Agatha Christie's novels, and I love Agatha Christie's novels. So I wonder if it's going to be good. I wonder how they're going to connect it to Agatha Christie, and I'm really hoping I'm going to like this book. And I've said that I love Agatha Christie's novels, and here it is, Partners in Crime. I took this book because I was so unsure about it. This is a different series that Agatha Christie wrote. She has Miss Marple series, she has Hercule Poirot series, and this is Tommy and Tuppence mysteries. I don't know who they are. There are only 5 books in these series, but I wanted to see what it's going to be like and if it's as good as her other series are. So this story, it's weird. These 2 detectives own an agency and they get a lot of different cases, but they promise that they will solve any case in 24 hours. And I assume something is going to happen with this promise of trying to solve the crime in 24 hours. I assume they're going to get a lot of very mysterious crimes, but I couldn't even figure out one plot, one line in the story. I don't know exactly what it's going to be about. So I was so intrigued and I was so suspicious about this book that I decided to take it and check it out and tell you if the series is any good. The next book is Atonement by Ian McEwan, and I've been looking for this book for like forever. So when I saw it, I knew that I have to take it. I have to take it now before somebody else does. And I wouldn't take this book if I haven't watched the movie, because this book features World War II, and as I said in my previous videos, I don't like books about World War II. That's something that I'm trying to avoid, and I wouldn't take this book if I didn't watch the movie and if I didn't know that war is not that important here. At least it wasn't in the movie. I don't know if the book is going to be different, but here the main focus is on the feelings, the main focus is on the characters and how they grow, what they think, what they decide to do. So it mainly focuses on this one family. So what happens there? This 13-year-old girl, our main character, sees her sister flirting with a son of a servant, and she has wild and crazy imagination. So when a crime happens based on her imagination, she tells a lie. And this brings the whole new turn to her life and the life of her family. And the background, our background, is World War II and the end of 20th century. I loved the movie. It was very sad, so I kind of know what to expect, but I think I'm gonna really enjoy the book. And the next book is 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I've heard about this book so much, so many people liked it, so when I saw it, I decided that I absolutely need to read it. In this book, a woman named Evelyn Hardcastle dies at a masquerade ball that her parents organize. And our main character will be waking up the same morning over and over again in the bodies of different guests of this masquerade ball until he figures out who killed Evelyn Hardcastle. And what's interesting about this book is that some of the guests can be trusted, but some can't. And we have this untrustworthy narrator, or rather narrators. So it makes this book so much more interesting. And I really like the idea of waking up continuously in the same day trying to figure out what actually happened to the person. The next book has 2 stories in it. It's Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris and Mrs. Harris Goes to New York. I really wanted to watch the movie. There's this movie that recently, I think, came out, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. It's about this woman who cleans houses of rich people. And once when she's cleaning the wardrobe of this very rich English woman, she finds a Dior dress that she falls in love with, and she's never seen anything that beautiful. So she decides to save money, and finally 3 years later she is able to go to Paris to House of Dior and get this dress. But a lot of interesting adventures are going to happen to her. She's going to change lives of a lot of people, and her life is going to change as well. I don't know what's going to happen in Mrs. Harris Goes to New York, but that makes it even more interesting. One worry that I have is that all these stories are so short. So this is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, and this is Mrs. Harris Goes to New York. So Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is only 120 pages. I wonder if you can tell the story well in only 120 pages, but we'll see. I've seen people reading this book and they said that it's a very cozy, very cute story that you can relax with. And the next book is called How to Solve Your Own Murder, and it's large print. I love large print. I already said it in one of my previous videos, so I was so happy when I saw this cover. I fell in love with the cover, and then I realized that it's also large print. So this book tells about a teenage girl in 1960s who asks a fortune teller what's going to happen to her, and they tell her that she's going to be murdered. And her whole life she's trying to figure out who is going to murder her. She's trying to solve the case that hasn't happened yet. And she writes down all the details about every person she meets, what motive they can have, and why they might not like her. So 60 years later, she is murdered and nobody knows what happened to her. And her great niece goes to her house for some event, and when she gets there, she realizes that her great aunt already passed away. She was already killed. And now she's going to try to solve this murder, but it also becomes dangerous for her. And the last book is called Emily Climbs by Lucy Montgomery. This is the author of Anne of Green Gables, and I loved Anne of Green Gables, so I decided that I really want to read this book. Though I later found out that this book has 3 stories, and this one is the second. So I guess I'll have to read the first one before starting on this book. That's a little sad, but that's okay. I have a feeling that I read the third one a couple years ago. I also didn't realize that it was a series, so I just took this book. It was called Emily's Quest, and this was the third part of this series. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I decided to read the other way around, third, second, and then the first. But I think I'm gonna read the first one and then move to this one. So this book tells a story about a girl, Emily, who knows that she's destined to be a very famous writer, but she also wants to go to school with her best friends, and for that she has to stop writing. And here she will have to choose if she wants to be with her friends or she wants to choose her passion and write. One of the newspapers will see her writing and offer her a very generous either contract, I don't know what it's going to be, and she will have to see how far she's willing to go for her dreams. And these were all the books for today. I'm very happy that I was able to share the news about my new job, and also I'm very happy about all the books that I got. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you liked them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.